Everything you were ever told about success is built on one assumption, so deeply embedded that almost nobody ever questions it. The assumption that effort produces results, that the harder you push, the more you deserve, the more you receive. Work harder, wanted more, try longer, stay disciplined, stay consistent, never stop, never rest, never relax. This is the operating code of every productivity book ever written, every motivational speaker ever recorded, every success story ever told. And it is the reason that the majority of people who follow that code never build the financial life they are working toward. Not because they are lazy, not because they lack discipline, not because they did not try hard enough. Because effort, specifically the quality of efforting that most people use when they want something badly, is not neutral. It has a frequency. And that frequency is one of the strongest signals of lack available to the human nervous system. In the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you why relaxation is not the opposite of manifestation, it is the mechanism of it. And why every time you tighten your grip on the financial life you are trying to build, you are broadcasting the exact signal that pushes it further away. Stay until the end, because the practical shift in the last 2 minutes is the most immediately applicable thing you will hear today, and it costs nothing, requires nothing, demands nothing from you except the willingness to stop doing something you have been told your entire life is the only way to succeed. Subscribe to Hermetic Mind right now and comment below, on a scale of 1 to 10, how tense is your relationship with money right now? Your number will make more sense by the end of this video than it does right now. Let me tell you what effort actually is at the neurological level, because this is where most explanations fail. They tell you to relax without telling you why the body resists relaxing when something important is at stake. When you want something and do not have it, the nervous system reads that gap as a threat, not a financial gap, a survival gap. The ancient pre-rational part of your brain does not distinguish between the absence of food and water and the absence of financial security. Both register as danger. Both activate the stress response. Both produce the neurological state that Dispenza calls survival mode, where the body floods with stress hormones, the analytical mind narrows its focus to the immediate threat, and the creative, receptive, expansive consciousness that actually generates new financial realities shuts down entirely. Every time you work hard at manifesting from a place of desperation, every time you push harder toward the financial goal because the fear of not reaching it is present, you are activating survival mode. And survival mode is the neurological state most incompatible with receiving that exists in the human system. The stress chemistry of desperately wanting is the same chemistry as genuinely lacking. Your body cannot tell the difference. The universe receives the chemistry, not the intention, the chemistry. And the chemistry of effortful wanting has been broadcasting lack every time you have worked hardest toward the thing you most desire. Now I want to show you the other side of this. Think about the experiences in your life where something genuinely good arrived unexpectedly, not something you worked for, something that appeared. In most of those experiences, if you examine them honestly, you will find a common thread. You are not trying. You are in a state of relative ease, relative openness, relative absence of the specific tension that comes from wanting something you believe you do not have. A vacation, an idle afternoon, a conversation that started without agenda, a morning when nothing important was at stake. And in that state, in that openness, that ease, that particular quality of unguarded relaxation, something arrived that your years of trying had been unable to produce. This is not coincidence. This is the nervous system briefly dropping out of survival mode, briefly releasing the stress chemistry of desperately wanting and entering the receptive state in which the frequency of abundance can actually be received, not worked for, received. Because abundance is not something you produce, It is a flow that flows toward a consciousness that has made itself available to it. And a consciousness in survival mode, constricted, tense, desperately effortful, is the least available consciousness possible. The ancient Hermetic wisdom addressed this with a precision that modern neuroscience is only now beginning to confirm. The Hermetic principle of rhythm states that everything moves in cycles, expansion and contraction, action and rest, giving and receiving. And it states explicitly in the texts that survived 5,000 years of attempts to simplify and suppress them that receiving is not a passive act, it is an active state of consciousness that requires a specific kind of cultivation, the cultivation of receptivity. The initiates of the ancient mystery schools were not trained to work harder toward abundance, they were trained to become available to it, to cultivate the internal conditions, the nervous system state, the emotional frequency, the quality of consciousness in which abundance could arrive without obstruction. And the primary obstruction they identified was not laziness, it was not insufficient desire, it was not lack of clarity, it was tension. The specific quality of constricted, grasping, desperately wanting consciousness that most people inhabit precisely when something important to them is at stake. The tighter the grip, the further the thing moves. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, neurologically, biochemically, measurably. The tighter the grip, the deeper the survival chemistry, the more closed the system, the less available the consciousness to receive what it is simultaneously broadcasting that it wants. And this is where most people get it completely wrong. They hear relax and manifest, and they turn relaxation into another effort, another technique to do correctly, another box to check in the morning routine. I'm going to meditate now so that I can relax enough to receive. I'm going to practice non-attachment so that the universe will finally deliver. I am going to perform ease so that I can have what I want. And the performance of ease is not ease. It is a more sophisticated version of the same survival chemistry, a more spiritual-looking desperation. The universe is not fooled. The body is not fooled. The mirror reflects what is actually present, not what is being performed. Real relaxation around money is not a technique, it is a consequence of genuinely understanding that your worth is not contingent on what you have or do not have, that the universe is not withholding abundance as punishment for your failures or as a test of your worthiness, that the financial reality you desire is not located somewhere outside you, requiring maximum effort to reach, but is the natural expression of a consciousness that has stopped treating its own absence as a survival emergency. Here is the analogy that makes this permanent. Imagine trying to catch water in your hands. You cup your hands carefully, you hold them perfectly, you try with complete focus and commitment to catch every drop. But the tighter you hold your hands, the more tense the grip, the more the water runs through the spaces your tension creates. The water does not respond to effort, it responds to the shape of the vessel. Relax the hands completely, open, soft, available, and the same amount of water stays in place without any effort at all. Wealth is the water, your nervous system is the vessel. The effort does not hold it, it creates the cracks it runs through. The relaxation does not waste it, it creates the shape that holds it. And the wealth you have been working so hard to catch and keep has been running through the cracks that your effort created every single time. So what does genuine relaxation around money actually look like in practice? Not performed ease, not spiritual non-attachment as a technique, genuine physiological and psychological release of the survival relationship to money. It begins with one honest acknowledgement. Your financial life you desire is not the condition under which you will be safe. You are already safe. Not because everything is fine, not because the bills are paid, or the goal is reached, or the abundance has arrived, but because your safety, Your fundamental nervous system level okayness is not located in your bank account. It never was. It only feels that way because the survival brain was calibrated in an environment where financial stress was real and present, and it learned very early that money meant safety and the absence of money meant danger. And it has been running that calibration every single day since. The genuine relaxation that allows wealth to flow is not the absence of desire. It is the separation of desire from survival. Wanting abundance without making the absence of abundance a signal that you are in danger. That separation, simple in concept, profound in practice, is the shift that changes the nervous system's relationship to money from constricted and grasping to open and available. And an opened, available nervous system is the one that abundance